Hello everyone again, it's Michael Friedrich here from North Carolina. I'm going to do another shave video. I've got really only one new product to talk about today, but I'll be using the Arko shave stick soap, which I'll talk about briefly. I'll be using, for the last day today in the rotation, my Merkur 23C/180 with the a day 3 Personna Blue blade from gifted to me by Paul Bombino. My normal little boar brush, which I'll be using, the Simog 1250. Let me go and get my face wet and get the pre-shave on, and I'll talk about what the Arko soap is like, and then we'll start lathering and going. This is known as a no prep shave, no shower, just time to get ready to go for dinner in a little bit. Haven't shaved since Friday morning, so that's 2.5 days. Vito's pre-shave applied. Nice and mentholy. Smells good. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Arko today. The shave stick certainly has its defenders and its detractors. If you've never seen it, it's a standard stick. This is very soft soap. You will not need to grate this to get this into a bowl. You can just press this in. This is extremely soft, so soft I just molded the end and reused the bottom of a spike shave stick holder. Fits in there great. Shave sticks work well in terms of the soap for me. It's just, this is the part that's messy. You got to get it wet, and then you got to just rub it on. There's really no way around it. It's messy. So for those of you that are new to shave sticks, that may well be some of you, you just get the tip wet and apply generously. Don't skimp. It is Arko after all. It's really pretty cheap soap, and I believe that they will continue to make this until further notice. This is not the delightful scent I would choose if I were producing a shave soap. It has kind of an industrial cleaner, cheap hotel soap, sort of lemony / urine cakey. Not very pleasant in the scheme of things. Not great, but that's offset by the fact that it does lather quickly and very easily. Relatively dry boar brush. I just started going. Face lather for the win, my friends. I know what you're thinking. Who are you? Ant? Tight buns with that lather? Where it looks like spackle? No. No, you need to go much further than that. Dip the tips. This does really lather very easily. I'm just taking it easy and going slow. Just drip some water onto the brush. There's really no reason to be afraid about adding too much water. The soap is not going to mysteriously and very abruptly switch from soap to just runny goop. See, that just needs more water. It's going to suddenly go from thick and pasty to slick and lathery. You can sort of hear a difference. You can feel a difference with the brush. go. Now I'm going to put a bit more water just on one side just so you can see. Even though that looks good. See, no harm done. Lightens it up a little bit. There we go. Alright, try to make this a 2-pass so these videos don't get too long. I hope everyone is doing great out there. Loving the videos. Intrigued by an aftershave touch-up routine. Never thought of that. I always thought aftershave was after the shave, but apparently aftershave can also mean shave some more after you put this on. Yeah, I like the soap. It definitely works. It's pretty slick. It lathers up. It's easy to use. The choice of scent is a complete mystery to me. There's a reason to pick that scent over other scents. I don't know what that is. But it does shave well. These Personna blades are working great for me up to that third shave, and during the third shave you can feel the tugging is starting to develop. And then after that, that's it. I've tried making it through a fourth shave with one. Just not going to work for me. A very workable blade though. And for the price in bulk, definitely a very good choice. Alright. That has dried out a little bit on the brush while it's sitting, so just add a bit of water again. There should be plenty in here for a second pass. I would think for a third one as well. So using this soap definitely raises some interesting questions about the value of shaving products. And we've had some interesting discussions on the group about cheap versus expensive, quality versus lower end. And it seems like we tend to fall into one of two camps. And I try to avoid both if I can, but so here's my take on it. On the one side you have those people who feel like the higher end expensive products, they feel that just by selecting those that others will recognize in them sort of a noble spirit, a certain refinement of character and taste that's naturally reflected in the products that they choose, and those products call out to them. And that's why something like Tops or True Fit and Hill or any of the expensive sort of top tier marquee names have a reputation for being finer products that finer gentlemen naturally will aspire to and feel sort of a kinship and feel they are certainly worth the money, and that choosing those products reflects well on them because that's what persons of breeding would naturally choose, a product like that. And that always tends to come across as a form of snobbery, and it sort of is. It's the assumption sort of that picking those products indicates in you a certain heightened quality as well. better quality person naturally picks the better quality products. That's one side of it. The flip side is the reverse of that snobism. Really the same thing, just at the other end. Which is, only a fool would spend money on products like that are so clearly overpriced. Where you're obviously being fooled by packaging or by advertising. There's no difference between those products that cost more or have more expensive packaging and the lower cost products. And that really, if you're of discerning taste, you'll pick the cheap ones. The real value enters the Arko stick or the Palmolive stick. And where cheaper is better because you are not demonstrating how foolish you are by falling for advertising or status symbol of using an expensive high-end cream. And for me, I think it's got to lie in between there somewhere. Are there real differences between products? Yeah, absolutely. This soap is not, at least for me, it's not as good as the Queen Charlotte. It doesn't lather as well. It dries out my skin. But it does cost a lot less. But I wouldn't choose this over the Queen Charlotte. But I recognize that for a lot of people, this is a great soap. And there's nothing wrong with it. Right? It is great value for the money that people want to spend. Great. Same is true for the Queen Charlotte. Or some of the other higher end soaps. Those are great value if they work for you in terms of consistency, your water, the brush you use, what kind of soaps you like. I spent money on a Taylor of Old Bond Street Sandalwood Puck. It's supposed to be a great soap, but it wasn't a great soap for me. Not a good value. The Queen Charlotte maybe costs about the same. That soap works great for me. That's a good value. The Godrej, which is a very cheap cream, works really well for me. And in that regard, it's a good value. If I had to pick, say, look, you've got to pick one, and there's no money coming in, or money was really tight. Godrej would be a great choice. Sort of the beauty of this hobby is that there's so many choices to make. So many things to think about. So many ways for those products to work for you that in the end, it doesn't make a lot of sense to kind of argue about high end or low end. You can certainly debate the value of a $60 puck of soap, but if it's the best soap for you and it works great, then, who are we to argue? Here's the Arko packaging. It's a piece of paper with this guy with this enormous beard of lather. Okay, well that's what you get for, a 50 pence thing of soap. It has no holder. It's just a tube of soap. Taylor of Old Bond Street came in this fantastic wooden container. Well, if you don't want to pay for the container, you don't have to, but for some people this is a great additional soap dish that looks great and is worth the money. So, for me it really comes down to, again, it's more about the value of what you're buying as opposed to the sort of the price or the particular status, whether it's the high end or the low end there. Let me rinse off here. You know, and in the end, I think the best part about all this is that you have a chance to sort of promote your own favorites and explain why that is. You get to help people understand why certain products work for you and why other products did not. You get to offer advice and recommendations and maybe steer somebody towards a product that you love, other people don't. Meantime, hopefully, you keep getting better and better shaves out of the deal, regardless of the money you're spending. And by the way, if you're a member of the Big Shave, you're spending money on shaving. Doesn't matter whether you're buying sticks of Arko or the occasional top-end product, because if a stick of Arko costs 50 pence and you're buying 100 sticks to hold on in case of the shave apocalypse, you're still spending money on shaving. Alright guys, that was it. That was a super quick shave. I like that soap. I will agree with many on the board that this is pretty drying. This would not be the soap I would continue to use by choice, but I'm going to work through this stick because once I start something, I'm going to stick with it till it's done. I'm going to interleave it with the samples I got from Paul Bombino, which are some really nice Taylorville Bond Street and some Trumpers. I'm going to be sort of alternating between those two, considering those as one sort of soap, as it were, to work through. And after this one, I believe might be the Palm Olive too, but we'll see which one comes up next in the rotation. That's it for now, guys. Hope everyone's doing great out there, and hope you're enjoying your almost Christmas seasons. Talk to you guys soon. There'll be another shave video coming up pretty soon. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.